Hey gang, welcome back to 30 Days to Real Estate video series. My name's Joe Bell. I'm a real estate investor, also a real estate sales professional for the last 14 years. I've pretty much held every title there is in real estate, and it's safe to say that I have a pretty decent feel for the industry. We've been investing for about 5 years now. At any given time, we have about 1.5 to 2 million in investments in any of our projects across the board. And in fact, we actually have 3 properties right now. They should be closing here in the next, well, we have 1 closing Friday, and over the next 30 days, another 2 closing. And that should generate around 250,000 gross. Realistically, take home is probably closer to about 130 in profits. That's 3 projects, one of which we've held on for more than 2 years, and the other 2 are 8-month flips. And those have a little smaller margin, but still pretty quick bang, in regards to making money, if you ask me. So this is our 30 Days to Real Estate map that we're going through. It's available for purchase, $9. Just click on the link. It'll lead you through to download it. It has all of the information and important pieces that we go over, the spreadsheets, the insights, tips, tricks, notes, strategies. It's all in there. This is everything that you need to take action today and go through this map, learn, understand, again, take action, go write an offer, go secure property, acquire the property, and you're off and running. Make it sound so easy just saying it that way, right? But there's a lot of information on this, and like I said, it's yours for a purchase of $9. So if you're interested, go click that link and dive into it. All right, so last video, we talked about touring properties, how to go through a property, how to look for the evaluation specifics, and taking your contractor with you, and then plugging all that information into the spreadsheet that we went over in the video before that. So now we have a really good understanding of the property that we want to pursue. Maybe I should say properties, right? I mean, it's not unheard of to go and make offers on more than one property at any given time. And then if you get any sort of acceptance, you get to figure out which property is right to pull the trigger on, or which properties, right? Kind of depends on where you're at along the journey. So the key to real estate investments for me is to always be making offers. You're never closed off to an offer. Did I say that right? You're never closed off to an offer. Regardless of if you have the resources or not, you're always open to it. So last year we ended up getting a call. We were going through a refinance on one of our personal properties, and we get this call from another real estate professional in the area, and he says, hey, I know you guys have been looking for a little bigger home, and we actually are going to be selling ours. Do you want to come take a look? Now, this is Sunday, and he follows up with, on Thursday, we're going to hit the market, but if you want a sneak peek, come over later this afternoon, check it out. If you're interested, we'll keep it off the market. So I'm like, yeah, we're always looking. And this is a pretty tight inventory market. So we go check it out. My wife walks through the front door. She gives me that look, and she's like, get it for me, right? And so it's like, all right, cool. We're going through a refinance. I don't know how we're going to, at this point, pull off any sort of financing to secure this property. So I come up with a grand idea. I'm going to write him a cash offer, and I'm going to go about, let's see, we went about 6 to 8% under his asking price for the cash offer. And he accepted. So now I'm looking at, great, how am I going to find $400,000 in cash? I promise you, cross my heart, we did not have a source for this money. I had ideas, but we didn't have a source. So 45 days, we had to come up with $400,000 cash. Now, in the past, we've been able to generate 150, 250, but never 400 from one source or even a couple of sources. So this was going to be a big challenge. I'll fast forward through the process. We're about 5 days out, and again, we're in a tight inventory market. If we don't pull the trigger on this thing, it's going to be mud on our face. So I mean, and really that doesn't mean a lot when you're talking about $400,000 and the potential risk you're aligning yourself with. I've been in conversation with a couple of different resources. One has given me an indication that we're going to be able to pull it off. Day by day by day passes, and I cannot get this guy to give me the final, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So we get to the day before closing, and finally I get this investor on the line, and I'm like, I need to know if we're going to be able to pull this off. Pauses. Yeah, Joe, we'll be able to do it, right? And everything in me was just like, oh my God, I have no idea how I just pulled that off. For me, it was a move of the century, right? Might not be that big deal, to some of you out here watching. To me, it was a pretty massive move in our world. And it realigned with my thought pattern of anything's really possible. Whatever you want to get or do or experience, you have the ability to. You just have to make your mind believe and have the confidence to take the steps, understanding that the universe is on your side, right? So that was a really big deal for me. So now fast forward a year, we pulled off the 400. Fast forward a year, and that house is now, we could probably sell between 585 and 615 over 1 year. Like it was a market that was that ideal. We won't, but we could, right? And that's where the opportunity lies. And the only reason that we got that opportunity was because we've now been in the market as investors and as home buyers, so that our sphere understands that about us. So that's lots of social media posts, that's lots of conversations, engagements, right? A lot of the activities we've been talking about in this thing. So always be in the mindset that you're ready to make an offer. You'll go find the money, okay? And I hate to say that because a lot of folks actually say that. You need to take some steps ahead of time to have an idea of where those resources are. So when you go find an opportunity, you're ready to make a call, right? And enough of those phone calls, enough of those opportunities, somebody's going to say yes. I promise you. It's just a matter of getting the experience in the conversation to understand how to go through it and capitalize on those resources and finding those funds that you need, right? So it's a whole movement within your life to start thinking, start behaving, start acting as a real estate investor. And that's what this map is about, is giving you the confidence to start taking those steps and putting yourself out there. All right. So that was a long story, long explanation, but always be making offers, right? It's like Glenn Ross, always be closing. I think it was, yeah, whatever. Always be closing, always be making offers, always be looking for money, right? Those are the key components. You don't have to get weird about it. You don't have to get over aggressive about it. It's just a simple conversation of, hey, we play in the investment side of the world. Have you ever thought about investing in real estate? That's it. See where it goes, right? It's just engagement. It's conversation. So making offers, contract, cash quick close, lease option. These are some of the contracts that will be included when you download the map. Transfer wholesale, right? There's specific verbiage that you need to have in a contract that allows you to transfer the contract over to another person or investor. So those are some of the important aspects when putting a deal together. Terms and conditions, some other things to think about. So protecting yourself in these contracts is hyper important. You need to know your exit strategy, your escape clause, if you will. Typically a real straightforward, easy, approachable contingency in a contract is buyer has 45 days of due diligence. Fill in whatever number that is, 45, 14. The faster you can do it, the better deal you'll get. So buyer has 45 days of due diligence. If within that given time period, buyer chooses to terminate the contract for whatever reason, they will receive the earnest money back and no further obligation from either parties, right? That's a real easy, straightforward contingency plan when you're moving into writing these offers. So another one of our favorites is the one that you see here. Seller to leave any personal items they do not wish to take with them. So we've had more than one hoarder scenario, and giving them the opportunity to leave everything behind except for those items they want to take with them has been a big play for us. Also allowing them time in the house. So, hey, we're going to close in 14 days, but we're also going to give you 14 days after to figure out what the next phase of life looks like for you, right? It's a really big deal that they can have more time. They don't feel super rushed. That's when you get into problems, right? Because, okay, time out. At the end of the day, this is about people, right? This isn't about being some shady ass shark looking for the best deal out there. This is about people. People get themselves into scenarios that are unfortunate circumstances, right? And your job is to be a person when you're going through these things, not to come and cut somebody as deep as you can, right? If that's you, like, don't download this map. Don't take any of my information. Like, go pound sand. Go. That's not what we're here for. We'll find great opportunities, but only with the flip side of being able to help somebody. And I know that might be hard for some of you to hear on that side of the camera. Like, oh yeah, you're out there taking advantage of people and, you know, their circumstances, you know, and there's an aspect in that statement that I just want to cover. And it's, no, we're finding people where they are at. They got themselves there. And in order for us to continue to be able to help remove these folks out of their situations, their mess, we have a moral obligation to do this right, to handle these people right. Okay, so I just want to clear the air on that piece. Do right by people and you'll have a ton of success. And almost all of the folks that we've dealt with, there's angry people that are giving up their house. That happens. They're typically very thankful for not being jerks about it, for not rushing, for not push, right? So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox. Let's see, control versus own. You know what? I'm gonna hold off on that piece specifically. I'm gonna bring it over to a next video. So past that, we're going to the net sheet. Net sheet is just a breakdown of costs to sell or transfer the property. That's something that's included in this map as well. So you'll get a copy of that. You can just plug and play so that you can look at your bottom line and go, all right, where do we want to offer? Where's our margins? What are we shooting for? Are we shooting for 25,000? Are we shooting for 40,000? What do the numbers look like? And it gives you a real good understanding based on the fees associated with closing out the transaction. Potentially there's financing costs, there's insurance costs, there's all kinds of other costs that go into that. So that's just another bonus to downloading this map. So, all right, I'm going to sign off here. I really appreciate your time. You got to see some of the soapbox Joe, so hopefully that was a positive experience. But again, like, this is a people business. You have to be in this for the right reasons. Otherwise, like, it'll chew you up and spit you out, and we got no time for those types of folks. So, all right, with that, I'm gonna sign off, and we're gonna jump into control versus own. Okay, adios.